Let's talk about d orbitals. D orbitals are clover-shaped, and they are located in columns 3 through 12 and rows 4 through 7 of the periodic table of elements. D orbitals start at the fourth period of the periodic table, but numbering starts with a 3 instead of a 4. But why, you may ask? Well, the third energy level has not yet filled up with 18 electrons, and I will show you how to write the electron configuration for zinc, which will fill up with 18 electrons in the third energy level. So let's write its electron configuration. This will also be a summary of the S&P orbitals as well. So, in order to write its electron configuration, you got to remember that in prior videos, what happens is that you're adding prior configurations from prior periods. So, starting with the first period to get to zinc, you need to do this. You start at 1, S2, that's the first part of its configuration, right? So that being said, I'm going to take these off now because we're going to move on to the next one. So then you do, this is 2s2, here's a 2, and here's the s2, all right? So you write 2s2. So let's move on here. So then you go to the next one, which is 2p6. How did I get that? Here's your 2. We're in the p block right here, remember? Here's p block, and here's a 6. So you write 2p6. All right? So we don't get confused here. Let me remove this here. Now, the next one is your 3s2. How did we get that? Here's the 3. Here's the s2. All right. So moving right along here. Now we need to get to the p block again. We know we're in the p block again right here. So that's 3p6. Six. 3p6. So that being said, I'm just erasing this to make it easier for you. Then you reach the fourth period. Here's the fourth period, and there's the 4. Oh, hold on. I'm just trying to make this easy for you here. So we said this is 4s2, and here's the 4, and here's the s2. All right, let's make that 2 again here. 4s2. All right. I'm just trying to do a recap of what we've done. Now you hit the D block. So here's a D block right here. So what do you do here? So zinc is right here, element 30. So that being said, this is going to be 3D. And why 3D? Because you're going to take the fourth period, which is the fourth energy level, and that's your N. Remember, go back to the prior video on energy levels, and N is replaced with a 4, but you're going to subtract off a 1. So 4 minus 1 is 3. But the reason it is 3D is because you can fill up the third energy level with 18 electrons. So that's why you need to do that. You haven't filled it up yet, and you're going to fill it up with this element right here, which is zinc. You're going to fill it up with the 18 electrons. So you're going to put 3D, and here's, you can't circle a 4 because we said it's 3. This is a D block right here, which I already circled, and that's 10. 3D10. There you go. So if you look at just the third period, you have 3s2, which is 2 electrons, 3p6, which is 6 electrons, that's 8, plus 10 is 18. You just filled it up with that one. So this is a good example of where the third energy level is filled up with 18 electrons. And this is pretty much what you've been doing all along. You've been building configurations from prior periods, and this is a very good example of how to do it. And that's zinc right there. It's 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10. And in a future video, I'll show you how to shorten these configurations because they're getting quite long. You're probably wondering, when are these going to get shorter? There's an easier way to write them, but I'm showing you the long way so you understand the methodology for this.